Okay, so let's get right into it. Let's talk about what makes probate deals so special. And for one thing, the houses are generally located in better areas. They're located in areas where owner-occupants typically live. You know, that's kind of your regular bread and butter owner-occupant type areas. Now, because these houses are in nicer owner-occupant type areas, it usually means you have more exit strategies. You know, nicer houses in nicer areas, you know, you can do more with them. You're usually not tied into one specific exit strategy, so it gives you more flexibility. Now, since these houses are in better shape and they're in good areas of town, it usually means that there is more equity involved as well. So, especially if you're going after houses that you can retail flip, these are going to be good candidates for that because you've got a big chunk of equity to work with. And this is simply because since they're nicer houses in nicer areas, the owners of these houses have been living in these houses for an extended period of time, thereby, you know, paying more towards the principal or even paying the houses off in full. So there's more equity involved. Probate houses are generally in good condition. I know I can contrast that against a lot of the absentee owner houses that I work with. They're, you know, they're for rentals. They're just kind of beat up and dilapidated and they need a lot of work. Probate houses are in better condition because since these people have been living in them so long and they own the houses personally that they live in, they usually take better care of it. So that results in houses that are generally in better condition. That also means that the systems are in better shape. The plumbing, the electrical, the HVAC, stuff like that. Since these people have a vested interest in this property that they've been living in, they've been taking care of it, that means less work for you and less expense involved in your rehabs. And talking more about rehabs, again, it makes running your numbers for your rehabs that much more simple. When you're dealing with a house that, you know, a lot of times they need cosmetic things like paint and carpet and things like that, whatever. But the systems, the roof, the HVAC, the plumbing, the appliances even, you know, things like that are generally in good shape. And those are big ticket items when it comes to rehab. A lot of times you don't have to worry about all those systems because they're in good shape, and that really simplifies your rehab estimates. Probate houses usually have very little to no competition, and this is a huge benefit. I think part of the reason that there's minimized competition with probate deals is because there's kind of a perceived difficulty. I think it's probably just because probate is kind of associated with, you know, the courthouse and the government and this and that. I think people kind of shy away from it because that usually means a lot of complexity. Probate deals really aren't that much different from any other lead source that I work, so don't let this perceived difficulty keep you away from probate, but it is that perceived difficulty that I think eliminates a lot of the competition. There's also a negative associated stigma with probate, and that comes from, you know, you're buying houses where the opportunity results from somebody dying. I mean, that is the reality of the situation. And because of that, since, you know, death is involved, I think that's why a lot of people kind of avoid probate. But I mean, the thing is, somebody's going to be buying this house. I mean, it's just the way real estate works. It's the way the world works. Death is a part of life, you know what I mean? And, you know, whatever, in a lot of ways, especially using the approach that I'm going to be teaching you in this course, you are genuinely helping these people out of a very bad and difficult situation. So, you know, don't let this negative associated stigma keep you from probate. Let it keep your competition from probate. Probate often has this, I think it's a misunderstood complexity. Again, kind of going back to the involvement with, you know, your local government, the courthouse, and, you know, people like that involved with it, that's going to add a lot of complexity to the deals. Let me tell you, I don't think it's all that complex. I've worked short sales before, and, you know, I'm not a big fan of short sales. You know, other people, you know, short sales, that's their bread and butter or whatever. I don't like short sales. To me, short sales is where the complexity is. You know, you're working these big, long, drawn-out processes with banks involved and all that kind of stuff. You know, whatever. Don't let me steer you away from short sales. I'm just giving you my opinion. But, yeah, I think probate is much simpler than short sales and really no different from, you know, out-of-town owners or anything else. So, yeah. I think it's a perceived complexity, but yeah, to me, I don't think it's all that complex. You'll see when we get deeper into the course. Another factor that makes probate deals very special is that probate sellers are some of the most motivated sellers that I've dealt with in any niche. Probate sellers have been forced to deal with a situation that is very uncomfortable and that, you know, they don't want to be in. The probate sellers that I really like to zero in on, they're the guys that, you know, they live out of town or even out of state, and they've inherited a probate house that needs a lot of work, and you know, they don't want to mess with it, and they can't mess with it because they live out of town and it's just a big burden to them. Those guys are extremely motivated. I mean, let me tell you, those are the ones you really want to zero in on, and those are the ones that, again, when you buy their house from them, yes, you're getting inside a very unique opportunity that can make you a lot of money. Yes. But I don't look at it at all like you're taking advantage of them. These guys are so thankful when you're able to swoop in there and be their solution to a problem that they want to get out of immediately. So yeah, that's just kind of the way I look at it. Yeah, these probate sellers, they want to be out of this house ASAP, and they want money in their pocket. And you can be the guy that gets that done for them. Probate sellers, they're looking for a quick and painless solution. And you're able to come in there and be that solution for them and help them out of this uncomfortable situation. So those are some of the reasons why probate deals are very special. Let me talk about some other benefits to probate deals that a lot of people don't even think about. A lot of times, these probate houses, they're inherited, and you know, they're full of stuff. They're full of, you know, belongings and furniture and, I don't know, silverware, and sometimes there's a old car sitting in the garage and appliances and clothes and all, you know, just all this stuff that just kind of ends up getting left with the house. Depending on what that stuff is, that can be an opportunity to make some extra money on the deal. In the case of, you know, there's an old car there that they don't want, whatever, you know, sell that car for an extra $1,000, or, you know, if it's a house full of furniture, you can sell all that furniture off for a couple $1,000. You know, a lot of times there's extra value in the junk that gets left behind in these probate houses. Probate deals, just due to the nature of the business, provide you with a never-ending supply of leads. As long as there are houses and as long as people die, there's going to be probate leads. And those two things are never going to change. So yeah, it's an excellent supply of high quality, often high equity real estate leads. Now, another thing with probate leads is you are often able to help a person out of a very uncomfortable and difficult situation, because the personal representatives or the executors of these probates, you know, they're in a situation where they do not want to be in this situation, and you are able to come in and be the solution for them. And there's a lot of, you know, I get a lot of satisfaction out of that. I mean, it's the probate has been an incredible lead source for me, very profitable, but it's also been very rewarding being able to work with some of these guys and help them out of these difficult situations. So those are some of the reasons that probate deals are so special. Now, we're going to move on to the next lessons.